Good morning. It is 6:59 a.m. on Tuesday, August 27th, 2019. I'm Christiana Ellis. I've been moving kind of slow this morning. This is 5 more minutes. So, whereas yesterday I felt I had tons of things to talk about, this morning I'm feeling vaguely nonverbal. Like, obviously I'm speaking to you now, but the title of that video on Facebook, I just blah, 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 just because I feel like I'm not operating at 100% capacity yet this morning. I'll be okay. I'll get there, but yeah, just a slow start. These things happen. Last night I was doing some preparation for tonight's episode of So Many Levels. Getting ready to, we're doing a little bit of a pseudo one-shot because one of the main players was out of the country for a few weeks, and so that character was separated from the rest. And so this is going to be an episode to kind of focus on where have they been. So that one player is playing their regular character, but everyone else is playing different characters to be where that other person is. And so did some preparation for that, and then was talking with a friend about just running games in general and talking through ideas for a one-shot that they're going to run. And there's just lots of fun stuff involved with role-playing games. I am definitely, now that I've been into it for a while and I'm exploring other systems, though, that I've definitely entered something that I think is very common for people who play a lot of these role-playing games, but is also already a familiar phenomena for me as in video games, which is to say, buying way more games than you have time to play or even, read. And that comes in tabletop games too, because of course, there's so many to choose from, right? I currently have games of Dungeons and Dragons and Fate of Cthulhu campaigns that I'm actively playing. But just in terms of like major, full release games that I now own, but do I even have time to read it, much less play it? I mean, I've got, I picked up the second run of the Black Cube of Invisible Sun, and I'm starting to read that one. So you got the first book of it right here, with a bookmark because I'm going through it. I'm not very far in. That one seems like it's super fun, but one downside of it, at least in terms of how I've been playing games, is that it's not optimized for online play. Like, we may be able to make it work. I might look into it because I do have the material digitally as well. Might see if that can be worked out, but at least with the the so-called Black Cube package that you buy, it's really kind of optimized. Like, part of the whole experience is that you've got all these little props and things to, tactile pieces to it that really kind of lends itself most to in-person play. But I don't have a lot of people that I play games with in person, and I feel like I want to rectify that, and I need to take some actions in that direction, I think. Yeah. Anyway, that's something that I'm noodling around in a little bit. I do have a relatively local game store that's probably the obvious place to try to start doing that, but working on that. In the meantime, I also have, as part of, I'm a Patreon subscriber to the One Shot Network, and they recently had a promotion where their Patreon members, they have like what they call a book club, where you get a free game every month. And this month it was the two main source books for Numenera, which is another whole big game that's kind of based on the Cypher system. And then I also have, you know, the new. I think I talked a little while ago about how I bought the Shadowrun book, not realizing that I was buying 5th edition when 6th edition release was literally only like a week away. So I bought the digital version of the 6th edition as well. Not that I've even read the 5th edition one yet. So it becomes that thing of like collecting that, and, you know, and you can kind of make the excuse in your head. It's like, oh, well, it's all just, you know, influence. You don't have to play every single one of them for it to have been a valuable thing or enjoyable for you to read. But it becomes a thing, right? You know, you end up accumulating stuff beyond your capacity to actually enjoy any of it. And I think that it's not it's not a bad thing to have that instinct, but I think it is an instinct that sometimes needs to be controlled in order to, I don't know, in order to is maybe not the right term there. An instinct that needs to be managed for optimum happiness. How about that? Anyway, I've got to go ahead and get ready for work. So I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes. And hey, Nobilla's joining just right at the end today. That's fine. Anyway, I will talk to you all tomorrow.